Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So our topic today is probability. Okay, to all my dearest students, you can refer to your notes while listening or watching this video. Okay, so what is probability? Okay, probability is a ratio of the number of favorable possibilities to the total number of possibilities. Okay, it is measured that an event will occur, and probability are between 0 and 1, where 0 represents an impossibility and 1 represents a certainty. Okay, before we go deeper on probability, we must know what is sample space and what is an event. Okay, so sample space is the set of all possible outcomes, and usually we denote it as capital letter of S, and we written it in the set notation like this, curly bracket. Okay, for example, a coin is tossed. What is the S? What is the sample space? So if we have a coin and we toss the coin, okay, we can get either head or tail. Okay, so this is our possible outcomes. Either we get head or tail. So that means our sample space is head or tail. Okay, second example, Encik Adam has a fruit stall that sells durians, rambutans, papayas, apples and bananas. Encik Ali wants to buy some fruits to bring home. What is the sample space? So our possible outcomes is all the fruits that Encik Adam sells. Okay, so that means our sample space is durians, rambutans, papayas, apples and bananas. Okay, the third example, a month is randomly selected from a year. List the sample space using set notation. So we know that in a year we have 12 months from January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November and December. So all these 12 months are our sample space. Okay, using set notation means we write it in this curly bracket. Okay, the next example, when you throw a dice, what is the possible outcome? Okay, possible outcomes means sample space. So we know that a dice has 6 faces. Okay, so our possible outcomes or our sample space is either we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this is our sample space. Okay, now we look at what is event. Event is a subset of sample space. It is an outcome that satisfies certain condition, and we denoted the event by capital letter. Okay, for example, event A or event B, and the green square here is our sample space. Okay, example 5. A letter is randomly selected from a word computer. Determine the number of possible outcomes of the events that selected letter is a vowel or a consonant letter. So from the word computer, we know that our sample space is the word itself, the letter, in that word. Okay, so we have C O M P U T E N R. This is our sample space. Okay, so the vowel letter is O, U, and E. So the events that selected letter is a vowel is O, U, and E. So the question wants us to determine the number. So the number for sample space is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So NS is 8, while the number of vowel letter is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so for question B, the sample space is also the same as question A. We have the word computer, so the letter C, O, M, P, U, T, E, and R is our sample space. Okay, so the events that selected letter is consonant. We have C, M, P, T, and R. So this is our event of the selected letter is consonant. So the number of sample space is 8, and the number of events that selected letter is consonant is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So number of C, sorry for the typo here, this one should be C, consonant, is 5. Okay, example 6. When a dice is rolled, determine the number obtaining an odd number or an even number. Okay, so as I said just now, we know that dice has 6 faces. So our sample space is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Our sample space. And odd number from these 6 faces is 1, 3, and 5. So we have 1, 3, and 5. So determine the number obtaining odd number. So for the sample space, we have NS is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And number of odd number here is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so for question B, the sample space is also the same, 1 until 6. And even number from these faces is 2, 4, and 6. So even number is 2, 4, 6. So the number of sample space is 6, and the number of even number is 3. Okay. So now we look at what is the definition of probability. Okay, probability of event A. Okay, we denote it as PA is equal to the number of event divided by the number of sample space, or NA divided by NS. And note that probability of event must be between 0 and 1. Cannot be less than 0, cannot be greater than 1. Okay, example 7. A number from 1 to 11 is chosen at random. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. What is the probability of choosing an odd number? So from these numbers, 1 until 11, our sample space, our possible outcomes is the number 1 until 11. This is all our possible outcomes. So this is our sample space. So the number of sample space here is 11. We count it one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. And what is the probability of choosing an odd number? So from 1 to 11, we know that odd number is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. So here I write let event A be the event getting an odd number. Okay. So our event A is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. So number of event A from here, from this set notation, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So number of event A is 6. Therefore, okay, from the definition of probability, we have probability of A is equal to number of event A divided by number of sample space. So we have number of event A is 6 and number of sample space is 11. So we substitute into this formula, we get 6 over 11. Okay, and then we must check whether 6 over 11 can be simplified or not. So if not, this is our last answer. So this is the probability of choosing an odd number. Okay. Next example. A bag consists of 4 black balls, 5 yellow balls, and 3 green balls. And then a ball is drawn at random from the bag. Find the probability that the colors of the ball is black ball, not black, or yellow ball. Okay, so look at this diagram. Okay, so for question A, let event A is the event of getting black ball. So number of sample space, okay, the total of balls here in this bag is 12. Okay, we have 4 black balls, 5 yellow balls, and 3 green balls. So the total is 12 balls. Okay, and the number of A, event A, where event A is the event of getting black ball. So we know that we have 4 black ball. So the number of event A is 4. So from the definition of probability, we substitute the number of event A is 4 divided by the number of sample space is 12. So we have 4 over 12. And we know that 4 over 12 can be simplified to 1 over 3. Okay, so this is the answer for this question. The event of getting black ball 1 over 3. Okay, for question B, find the probability that getting not black, or we can let B is equal to the event of not getting black ball. So we know that our sample space is, our total number of sample space is 12. Okay, so the event of not getting black ball, okay, we count the number of yellow and green balls. Okay, so we have 5 yellow balls plus 3 green balls, so we have 8. So therefore our probability of not getting black ball is 8 over 12. So 8 over 12, simplify, we can get 2 over 3. Okay, or we can do like this. We know that the probability of getting black ball, okay, just now from question A, the probability of getting black ball is 1 over 3. So the probability of not getting black ball we can calculate it like this. We know that the probability, the highest number of probability is 1. Okay, so 1 minus probability of getting black ball. Okay, so 1 minus 1/3 or 1 minus 1 over 3, we also get the number is, the value is 2 over 3. Okay, so question C, question C, let C be the event of getting yellow ball. So same as question A and B, we must know the number of sample space. So the number of sample space is 12, and the number of getting yellow ball, we have 5 yellow balls here. So the number of getting yellow ball is 5. Therefore, the probability of getting yellow ball is 5 over 12. Okay. So now we look at the types of event. Okay, we have 4 types of event in our syllabus. Okay, the first one is expectation. Okay, expectation means the average, which is equal to mean. And then we have independent event. Okay, each event is not affected by other events. And then we have dependent event. An event is affected by other events. And the last one is conditional event. The events can't happen at the same time. Okay, for the expectation event, okay, so in topic statistics, we know that the mean or the average is equal to the summation of fx divided by the summation of f. This is for group data. Okay, now in probability, the expectation or the mean is equal to the summation of x times probability of x. Okay, so for example, okay, repair costs for a particular machine are represented by the following probability distribution. What is the expected cost of the repairs? So we have row for x, and then we have row for probability of x. Okay, so we know that the formula of expectation is the summation of x times px. Okay, we can add one, or we can add another row below. Okay, and then we can find x times px first. Okay, we multiply it column by column. So 50 times 0.3 is 15. 200 times 0.2 is 40. 350 times 0.5 is 175. And then we can get the summation of this row. So 15 plus 40 plus 175, we get 230 ringgit. So for this question, the question is about the cost. So the answer is 230 ringgit. Okay, so this is the expectation. Okay, the next event is the independent event. Okay, the dependent event is the outcome of one event does not affect the outcome of the other. Okay, if A and B are independent events, then the probability of both occurring is, okay, this is the formula for independent event. Okay, probability of A and B, okay, this is the symbol for N, is equal to probability of A multiplied with probability of B. Okay, for example, if we toss a coin, okay, and then roll a regular face dice labeled from 1 to 6, okay, both events are independent of each other. Okay, whether the coin lands head or tails, it will not be affected by the outcomes of the dice. Okay, example 10. A coin is tossed and a single six-sided dice is rolled. Find the probability of landing on the head side of the coin and rolling a 3 on the dice. So we let A is the event of getting a head. So probability of getting a head from a coin is 1 over 2. Okay, because when we toss a coin, we get either head or tail. So the chances is only half for both head and tail. Okay, and then we let B the event of getting a 3. So probability of getting number 3 from a dice is 1 over 6. Okay, because we only have one face for number 3 and 6 faces for a dice. Okay, so the question wants us to find the probability of landing on the head side of the coin and rolling a 3 on the dice. So the keyword here is and. Okay, but both events are independent. Okay, not affected by the event A does not affect the event B. So the formula, from the formula of independent event, okay, we have probability of A and B is equal to probability of A times probability of B. So probability of A for head is 1 over 2 times probability of B for number 3 on the dice is 1 over 6. Therefore 1 over 2 times 1 over 6, we get 1 over 12. Okay, next event is dependent event. Okay, dependent event, the outcome of one event affects the outcome of the other. Okay, sorry, this is known as the outcome of one event affects the outcome of the other. Okay, so if A and B are dependent events, the probability of both occurring is, this is the formula. So probability of A and B is equal to probability of A times with probability of B given A. So this means that the event B affected by event A. Okay. Okay, for example, a bag contains 3 red and 4 blue marbles. If you draw a blue marble from the bag and do not return it, what is the probability of drawing out 2 blue marbles in a row? Okay, so in a bag, we have 3 red and 4 blue marbles. Okay, so for the first drawn, okay, we take out blue marble. So we know that we have 4 blue marbles here. So number of drawn blue marble is 4. And number of sample space, we know that the total number of marbles here is 7. So that's why our probability of B1, okay, for the first drawn, we have 4 over 7. Okay, and then for the second drawn, okay, if you draw a blue marble from the bag and do not return it, that means for the first drawn, you already take out blue marble, and you do not return it in the bag. So that means in our bag now, okay, we only have 3 red marbles because from the first round we only took out the blue marbles. Okay, so the red marble didn't change anything. Okay, so 1 2 3 red marbles, and then for the blue marbles we only have 3 blue marbles because we already took out 1 blue marble from the first round and we do not return it back. Okay, so now our total marbles in the bag is 6. Okay, so number of sample space is 6, and for the second round we also want to take the blue marbles because the sentence here is drawing out 2 blue marbles in a row. So first we take blue marbles and second also blue marbles. So blue marbles for the second round only have 3. So that's mean probability of blue marbles for second round is 3. 1 2 3, and the total number of sample space is 6, or we can simplify it to 1/2. Okay, so from the formula, okay, we know that we must find the probability of drawing 2 blue marbles in a row. So that means we want B1 and B2 for the first round, and second round B and B blue marbles is equal to probability of blue marbles 1. Okay, we draw for the first time, we get blue marble, multiply with probability of getting blue marble on the second round, given that we also get the blue marble for the first round. Okay, so we have 4/7 times with 1/2. Okay, so 4/7 times 1/2 is equal to 2/7. Okay, this is the what we call it, the comparison between independent and dependent event. Okay, so for example, using the bag of marbles on the left, what is the probability of pulling a white marble than a striped marble? Okay, for independent event, okay, when you put first marble back in this bag, okay, so for example, you pull a white marble from this bag. So white marble we have 1 2 3 and 4, so that's why we have 4 here, divided by 10. 10 is the sample space, the total number of sample space. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So 4/10 for white marbles, and we put back the white marble into this bag. Okay, so we pull the second marble, which is striped marble. Okay, we also have 1 2 3 and 4 marbles, 4 striped marbles. So that's why we have 4/10. 10 is the sample space. Okay, so 4/10 times 4/10 is equal to 4/25. Okay, this is the independent event when we put the first marble back in the bag lah. Okay, but for the dependent event, when we keep the first marble, that means we didn't return back the marble. Okay, so when we want to pull the white marble, okay, we have 4/10. Okay, so because we have 4 white marbles here and divided by the number of sample space 10, and then we did not return back the white marble. Okay, so for the striped marble, okay, striped marble we have 1, 2, 3, 4 striped marble. Okay, so we have 4 here, and divide by 9. 9 because we already took out the white marble and did not return it into this bag. Okay, so that's mean our total marbles in this bag is 9. Okay, so 4 over 10 times 4 over 9 is equal to 8 over 45. Okay. Alright, the last event is conditional event. Okay, the probability of an event occurring given that another event has already occurred. So there are two possible events that can occur. Okay, probability of B given A means probability of event B occurring given that event A has occurred. Okay, so the symbols here means given. Okay, and then the formula is probability of B given A is equal to probability of A and B divided by probability of A. So probability of A and B is also same as probability of B and A. Okay, and this one is probability of A. We follow the back here. Probability of B given A, so divided by probability of A. Okay, for example, Susan took 2 tests. The probability of her passing both tests is 0.6. The probability of her passing the first test is 0.8. What is the probability of her passing the second test given that she has passed the first test? Okay, that means Susan must pass the first test first, then she passed the second test. So this is the conditional event. Okay, so given from the question, okay, P, T1 and T2. Okay, from this sentence, the probability of passing both tests. So probability of test 1 and test 2 is 0.6, and then the probability of passing the first test, so P test 1, probability of test 1 is 0.8, and we must calculate or we must determine the probability of passing the second test given that she has passed the first test. So we must find P T2 given that T1. Okay, so from the formula of conditional event, okay, we have probability of T2 given that T1. So the formula, we can write probability of T2 and T1. Okay, T2, T1, so probability of T2 and T1 divided by probability of T1. Okay, probability of T1. Okay, so like I said just now, probability of T2 and T1 is the same as probability of T1 and T2. These two is the same value. So we have 0.6 divided by probability of test 1 is 0.8. So we get the answer is 0.75. Okay. Ada example. Okay, a bag contains red and blue marbles. 2 marbles are drawn without replacement. The probability of selecting a red marble and then a blue marble is 0.28. So this one means probability of red and blue 0.28. Okay, red and blue 0.28, and the probability of selecting a red marble on the first draw is 0.5. Okay, so probability of red is 0.5. Okay, what is the probability of selecting a blue marble on the second draw given that the first marble drawn was red? So we must find probability of blue, okay, for the second draw given that the first marble was red. Okay, blue given red. Okay, red must occur first, then blue. Okay, so from the formula of conditional event, probability of blue given red, so we have probability of blue and red divided by probability of red. Okay, so we have 0.28 divided by 0.5, which is equal to 0.56. Okay, another example for conditional event. What is the probability of rolling a dice and its value is less than 4, knowing that the value is an odd number? Okay, so let A is the event that getting the value less than 4 and B is the event that getting the odd number. So question wants us to calculate the probability of rolling a dice, okay, and its value is less than 4, knowing that the value is an odd number. That's mean probability of A given B. Okay, getting the odd number first, then we must get the value less than 4. Less than 4, the value is less than 4, knowing that. Knowing that also means given that the value is an odd number. So probability of A given B. Okay, so event that getting the value less than 4. Okay, this is a dice question. So we know that dice has 6 faces, 1 until 6. So the value less than 4 is 1, 2 and 3. And for event B, event that getting the odd number. So odd number we have 1, 3 and 5. Okay, and then from the formula, okay, from the formula we must find A and B. That means event that getting the value less than 4 and the value is odd number. So the intersection number here, the event must occur in both event A and event B. So if we, as we can see here, for event A we have 1, 2 and 3, and event B we have 1, 3 and 5. So that's mean event A and B, the intersection event here is 1 and 3. Okay, 1 and 3 has 1 and 3 have in both event here, 1 and 3, 1 and 3. Okay, so the formula of probability of A given B is equal to probability of A and B divided by probability of B. So just now we know that event A is 1, 2 and 3, event B is 1, 3 and 5, and event A and B is 1, 3. So from the formula we know that we must know the probability of B, which is 3 over 6. 3 number of event B divided by 6 number of sample space of dice. So we have 1 over 2. And probability of A and B, we have 2 number of event A and B divided by sample space of dice is 6. So we have 1 over 3. Therefore, we substitute into the formula. So probability of A and B is 1 over 3 divided by probability of B is 1 over 2. So we divide these two numbers, we get the value is 2 over 3. Okay. The last part is the law of probability. Okay, so we have the additional law. Okay, rule number 1 for additional law is the mutually exclusive. Okay, we have mutually exclusive event. Okay, two events A and B are mutually exclusive if they have no elements in common. Okay, they did not intercept each other. Okay, no elements in common. Okay, this definition means that event A and B cannot both happen. Okay, so the formula is probability of A or B, additional means or, is equal to probability of A or B, this is the notation for or, is equal to probability of A plus probability of B. This is for mutually exclusive event. Okay, does not has common elements. Okay, the second rule. Okay, the second rule is not mutually exclusive event. Okay, we can see here that from the diagram it has a intersection here. So if A and B are not mutually exclusive event, that is A and B has been added twice. Okay, as we can see in this diagram. So therefore one must be removed. Okay, the formula is probability of A or B, okay, this is the notation, is equal to probability of A plus probability of B, and then we must minus the intersection here. So minus probability of A and B. Okay, so we can see the example, or we can do the exercise in our next class.